Recently, I reported on the super thick female pastor by the name of Dr. Carrie Turner. She's now a co-pastor at New Birth Missionary Baptist Church. And as much as she wants to preach Jesus Christ, the more I want to be in the pews. Looking at this lady, she has cheeks for days. Booty clapping sounds! And I'm pretty sure a lot of folk want to be in the church service. Even so much so, one of the Christian channels on YouTube had to say this.
I could imagine the youth pastor, especially on the boys' side, being packed. I'm talking about high school. I'm talking about high school dropouts. I mean, kids in juvenile wanting to go to church. First grade boys. Yeah, I can see that happening.
Yeah, guys, she is that thick. It's ridiculous. And allegedly, she has the BBL, Brazilian butt lift. But there's another thick Christian influencer on here by the name of Soul Theology. I've talked about her before on this channel. She's a Nigerian American. I believe she's like a lifestyle influencer, very high class, things like that. And let us read her about section. The cover music! A fine babe who loves Jesus and inspiring girls like me. I've lost a lot of weight, lived a lot of life, and aim to travel the world. My biggest goal is to become the woman of my dreams, hopefully a mom, soon, and a wife. Of course, let's just see what God has planned. Amen. Church music. Let's see what the Lord has planned. Yeah, but stop the show. I don't know what church she go to. Must have been St. Ides Baptist Church with all of that drunk ass talk, because in what church do you love Jesus and you go and get a Christian BBL? Can I get a da-da-da sound effect? Yes, this beautiful creature of the Lord wanted to get a BBL to make her behind fatter. Now, she wanted to do a weight transfer, which is what she did. And boy, does she look good. But because she's a lifestyle influencer / Christian influencer, even though she looks like she could be in a video for Drake or something like that. That's what she looks like to me. She got a lot of criticism from the church community when she finally decided to get a BBL. She calls it a Christian BBL. But this is her argument and what she had to say to the haters then.
Hey guys, so yes, apparently, as you have heard, I am the first girl ever to get a Christian BBL. A lot of people have been asking me what a Christian BBL is. I have a YouTube video up about it, but people would rather be loud and wrong. So here I am to compress basically how I got my Christian BBL and what exactly that even is. I get the YouTube vlogs are not for everyone. I only watch a few YouTubers myself. By the way, my name is Sophiology. So what is a Christian BBL and how did I end up getting mine? Okay, so I booked my surgery with Dr. Jung in Houston. I'm not sure if he's a Christian. I never asked him. It wasn't relevant to my surgery. But anyways, I'm sure God was there because God never leaves me. Everyone has called my procedure a BBL, so I call it that now too. But if we're being specific, I specifically got lipo 360 and fat transfer to my hips. If I sound aggravated, it's been a long day. But anyways, I decided that instead of getting the surgery and keeping it hush, hush, it would be nice to let my followers know I got this surgery because I'm honest. I've lost 40 pounds this year. And I also have a reputation on YouTube for weight loss, self-care, beauty influencing, you name it. So being transparent is kind of important. And I'm here for the girls. I knew not everyone would be happy about my choice to get my body done because arguably I had a nice body before. And I'm not supposed to change how God made me or whatever, but I did. And I chose to be honest about it. So I share my experience on YouTube, right? Just a regular BBL vlog. And I was met with more backlash than I expected. Like, I was being dragged. My family was so upset and worried for my mental health. Like, it was crazy. And I know I got Christian followers, but to be dragged like that is crazy. I was disgusted by the way some people were talking to me. And if you know me in real life, I don't tolerate such rubbish. You're not gonna bully me and I keep quiet in the name of I'm an influencer. If I have time, I'ma clap back. Never was I promoting plastic surgery or saying it's right in God's eyes. I was just being honest and sharing my experience to my followers. I think it's the Nigerian in me that can be dramatic at times. Like, it's very Nigerian to be sarcastic when you're insulting people. And when you mix sarcasm and dramatization, you basically have a recipe for what happened yesterday. So I decided, you know what? As much as I love having a Christian audience or whatever, I don't want the judgmental ones who speak to me out the side of their neck as if they're perfect or holier than everybody else. I want the girls and guys that are humble and know that a walk with God is not spotless. The only perfect example of a person is Jesus. And I found it necessary to remind people that the God I serve still loves you, even when you do things he told you not to do.
But now there is trouble in paradise. Something is going wrong with the BBL. And she even talked about it on this particular vlog. My BBL got infected, new furniture, my friend's wedding, and a sexy date. So something happened with the BBL. I'll play a little bit of a clip of it. Let's see what she has to say, and we'll come back.
Full transparency, my dermatologist appointment this afternoon, it went well in the sense that I got a diagnosis and a prescription, but I should have went sooner. I found out that I have an infection from my faja. And I actually booked that appointment last minute because of how much pain I was in last night. I barely got any sleep. So as much pain as I'm in right now, and you know, just disappointment that this is even happening, I'm happy that I have medicine now and things to help cure it. I know some of you must have so many questions about my surgery and my process so far and how it's been. So definitely gonna make a video about that, but not today.
So this whole purpose of a BBL is a fat transfer. And if this fat transfer somehow gets stuck in veins or arteries or anything like that, you're dead almost instantly, okay? Like instantly. Here are some doctors talking about it.
And essentially it is taking fat from a different part of your body and injecting it into the butt. And up until a few years ago, we thought that this was the safest way to enhance the buttocks. And as we know, our society and our culture, it's really focused on the derriere. Unfortunately, studies have now shown that it has the highest mortality rate, death rate, in all of plastic surgery. There was a study that showed that literally 1 in 3,000 women who undergo this surgery die from it.
And these are healthy pre-screened women. So these aren't
healthy,
like
these are young women,
folks.
and often they're young women of color who want to undergo this operation. So I don't think that it's not a safe operation. I think there are unsafe ways to perform it. And in general, there are plastic surgeons around the country who do, that's almost all they do, is Brazilian butt lifts. And they do it very safely because they know where you can inject the fat, which is in the subcutaneous layer, which is above the muscle, and where you don't inject the fat, which is below the muscle. But where I caution patients is to be very careful if the person who's doing it on you is not a true expert in it. You don't want somebody dabbling in your butt. You want only a true expert to do it, because when somebody's dabbling and they don't know those planes very well, that's when people die. And I describe it as kind of like the Death Star, where like you get these two missiles that go right to the right part of the Death Star, and the Death Star whole thing blows up. That's what a fat embolism can be, is you get fat that is injected into a blood vessel and it goes right to your heart and your lungs, and you die like that.
And what makes it worse, you have a nurse who's a former nurse who got a BBL. Boy, did she regret it.
A woman says that a Dallas plastic surgeon basically botched her plastic surgery, leaving her in a wheelchair.
And now the Oklahoma nurse is seeking millions of dollars in damages after she says her life was changed forever. Our Brooke Rogers live in Dallas with her story. Brooke?
And Kaylee, this is the lawsuit. It was filed in Dallas District Court today. In it, the patient says what was supposed to be a minor augmentation has likely left her paralyzed permanently. It's a cosmetic enhancement known as a Brazilian butt lift, made popular by the likes and looks of some Hollywood celebrities. But for Oklahoma nurse Rolanda Hutton, it was supposed to be a minor makeover.
And I didn't do this to be a video vixen or anything like that. I just went in for something, just a slight enhancement.
She left in a wheelchair after her January procedure at Dallas Plastic Surgery Institute and Dallas Day Surgery Center. Her attorney says Dr. Samir Jajurakar injected too much fat into the muscles above her sciatic nerve when she awoke and couldn't feel her feet or legs.
And I kept on feeling like something is wrong. Something is wrong. So I thought, I need to go to the hospital.
Attorney Les Weisbrod says instead they kept her at the Cloister at Park Lane, a, quote, luxury post-operative hotel, far too long.
She needed to be emergently transferred to capable people at a hospital, and that wasn't done.
Hutton says she may never walk or work again. And while she hopes to receive damages, she says she spoke out primarily to spare others from her pain.
But a lot of younger people, or maybe people my age, are doing things that may cause more complications, and they're younger and their lives are going to change forever. I want other women to see that what can happen.
So let's get back to Sophiology. And again, she talks about how God will forgive even when you make mistakes and all of that. And I don't want to be very critical of the woman because we all see God in a different way. I'll leave that for another conversation. But when I look at this particular young lady, it looks like she got this BBL because she most likely wants to look like, I don't know, Nicki Minaj. It seems like her pics is very revealing, very, like booty influenced. So that is important. And, she does a lot of, seems like outgoing parties, a lot of drinking. I don't know how much Christianity is really involved in any of that. I'm not sure. But it seems like what she's trying to do is to look like a certain image that maybe it's really too hard for her to physically maintain. She did have a lot of weight, and she lost a lot of weight. And, then she got this fat transfer, trying to look like this person, that she's trying to see that others are looking at. And I see a lot of ladies going toward that way. I think at the end of the day, if her ultimate goals are to be a Christian, to be a wife and a mother, I feel like the lady is attractive enough just by her natural self that she would not need to do that. And I think that this is what a lot of the young ladies miss. They feel like, oh, if they get this particular look, then that's going to help them become a mom and a wife and all of that, and to see what God has planned. I think that when you have this particular mindset, you attract a lot of people into your life that's really not about God, because I think the good people that come into your life are not really worried about if you have a big butt or not. It goes back to where the value's at. And I think that some of these ladies out here, they focus so much on what they look like that it really draws the wrong kind of people to them. So, they're partying, they're hanging out with the fake rich crowd, and, they really can't build meaningful relationships. And then this shit is dangerous. You can actually die with this whole BBL procedure. And I don't even really think it's worth it, So again, I don't think that she's married or anything like that, but hopefully with this process, she's not in pain anymore. And I hope that women really consider the health ramifications of getting a BBL and what it can do for you. And what are the dangers of going that route. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I appreciate you for all you do. Share the bell. We're out.